Good evening. We are now in Plato's part, one of the students of Socrates. So in the picture of a school of Athens here at the center, there is two person, no, talking to one another. So let's reveal later who is this two person. This color red is Plato. The right side is you will surprise later. Who is Plato? He is the most important disciple of Socrates. He is literally following Socrates. No? Despite the fact that Plato is a type of person who is coming from an aristocratic family, he trying to find a path to a person which is not too rich, no, but rich in knowledge, rich in wisdom, no. So ang path niya, giusab niya, wa siya mosunod si ang family kaayo nga path. Instead, gisunod niya ang path sa usa ka tawo nga which is naa sa ordinary nga pamilya, and then dili kayo wealthy, but he believed that this person will make him acquired more wisdom, no? Because he see it as more beneficial rather than working with his parent, which is very wealthy and rich. He was the first in the history of Western civilization to publish philosophy. Imagine like that one, no? He authored multiple books, and he dedicated that books to his teacher Socrates. He is a very talented wordsmith from an aristocratic family. Why is it he's very talented with writing? Because he has the luxury to possess, no, notes, books, and other materials needed for writing, no? So the one who wrote Socrates' life, debates, dialogues, and even his trial and execution is Plato. No? Plato is not only relying to his teacher, but he has also his own philosophy. Later on you will know about it. He was the founder of the first university known as Academy. So Academy offers music, offers history, they offer politics, no? They offer also rhetorics, no? The arts of public speaking. He was known for writing several books, but the most famous is the book The Republic. He was known by his concept of idealism, the theory of forms. The theory of forms is not easy to explain though, without giving an example of the story that commonly found out on the book of the Republic, which is later on I will explain it to you. So there are two specific levels of theory of forms according to Plato. The visible world that is made up of sights and sound. The second one, the intelligible world, the world of forms, that gives the visible world its being. Okay? Say for example, visible world. You draw a flower on a paper. That is an example of the visible world. That is sights. No? If you see a real flower, that is considered as the intelligible world or the world of forms that gives the visible world its being. So to make it simple to you, the next slide will give you an example to know more about the theory of forms of Plato. Because Plato is a different person. Plato is idealist person. Those things that cannot be seen are true. And those things that can be seen are not true. So baligtad. Ang butang nga di makita mo'y tinuod. No? Ang makita mo'y dili tinuod, no? So makita na ninyo inana. Okay? He believed that material world around us is not real. Is called idealism. He presented his idealism and the theory of forms through his book, The Republic. And this book has different story to tell. And one of the famous stories is known as Allegory of the Cave. Allegory is a type of story that has plenty of symbolism that could be applied in real life situation, real life condition. Okay? So this is the picture is all about. And this story is quite elementary because this is very common elementary. But let me tell you a story about this. Long time ago in ancient Greece, there were 3 prisoners shackled for their entire life, from childhood to adulthood. Their neck, their hands, and their feet were chained so that they could not easily move left to right, and the only view they had is in front is the wall of the cave. One day, there's a fire at the back of the wall in which they were being chained. And they've seen for the first time the light that struck upon from the cave wall. In a couple of minutes, many people pass by in front of the fire, and their shadow will cast all throughout to the cave wall. And these 3 prisoners surprised of what they have seen. They were so entertained and happy to see those shadows passing by in front of the fire that cast onto the wall. One day, one prisoner able to unchain himself and escape and trying his best to look in which is the exit of the cave. Fortunately, he able to come out from the cave, and he almost blinded by the light, because imagine that one from childhood to adulthood, you never seen a natural light all throughout your life. Only a light that struck from the cave wall is the only light that you have seen for your entire life. So when he came out from the cave, he was struck by a natural light. He almost blinded by it, but he was trying his best to redeem himself. So a couple of minutes he was able to redeem and able to see the light. As he opened as he opened his eyes slowly by slowly, he've seen all the beautiful things outside the cave. The man carrying a pot which is casted on the wall of the cave wall, he found it outside the cave. A horse who was passing by from the fire, which is also cast in the cave wall, he also found that one outside the cave. Then he realized that this is real. Those shadow that cast on the wall of the cave, that is only a product of imagination, and that is only a product of an illusion. So because of all the things that he have seen outside the world, outside the cave, he rushed back to the cave and spread the good news that the outside world is real. When his 2 fellow prisoners got the news, they were pissed off. No? They got irritated because they won't believe. Because the 2 prisoners believe that the sum total of reality is the shadow, and there is no real more than that. The shadow is the ultimate truth. So because he couldn't able to convince the 2, he was so frustrated and slowly went out again on the cave, peacefully living his life while the rest of the two prisoners live their entire life inside the wall and entertained by a shadow cast on the wall. So I will not expound this, no? I will just give you this as an assignment. Okay? So later on I will give you this an assignment and how can you able to explain this one. Okay. So let's move, no? So I don't want to rush everything because we need to have a performance task about this. He believed that the world of forms is eternal, unchanging, and cannot be seen. So meaning those things that cannot be seen and it is made up of ideas are the real ones. Because just like painting, a painter painted the nature. The nature is beautiful. But if you are a painter, you can add some more from your painting that will make your painting more beautiful than the real nature that you are being modeled, no? So there's a story to tell about the theory of forms. There is a man passing by and if, he saw a painter and he said, what are you going to paint? I will paint the nature in front of me. So you observe the painter. So after a couple of hours painting the nature in front of the painter, the speculator was stunned. The speculator was marveled and astonished of the finished product of the painter. And he said, wow man, your painting is beautiful compared to the nature that being modeled. So which means the human mind can stretch. The human mind can go beyond. Because of this idea, because of this idealism, Plato believed that what human could do compared to the reality is human can able to reach its potential in the word of the theory of forms. That is why inside the cave they keep on imagining that all these things were real, because that is the human could do inside their mind. They can go beyond it, no? So that is the Plato's thinking. Plato also discussed his understanding of rationality and the soul, and he compared it as known as the tripartite soul. Our soul is consists of three: the rational, logical, which seeks truth, is weighed by facts and argument; spirited, emotional, how feelings fuel your actions; and appetitive, physical desires drive you to eat, have sex, and protect yourself. All of us possess the tripartite soul, no? Say for example you are driving, no, in a freeway, and you came across a man who is very rude at driving, very reckless at driving. Sometimes we use our logic. We are not going to fight, because if we're going to fight, there could be a traffic congestion along the way. So we need to use our rationality and logic, no? But if you're determined to outsmart the reckless driver, you are being used your emotion, the feeling that fuels your actions, no? But if you're being rude to the driver who is reckless driver, and you stop and you pull over to fight the reckless driver, you came across the known appetitive, no? Appetitive has something to do with aggressiveness. Aggressiveness to the point it could also lose your life. It could also be a part of the most dangerous soul, no? In the tripartite soul, no? Sometimes being aggressive, being mad is, we can consider that one as unconscious, no? thing inside our mind, no? Wata ka balo eh, nagsuko na dahi ko ato, man, said that one. So we possess that one. Plato emphasized the platonic love, no? Platonic love is a spiritual relationship between two people with common interests and similar worldviews. So this is a platonic love. It is not more an intimate love that we usually know, no? But the love of academia, the love of learnings, no? The love of curiosity. If you have common interests in mathematics, and there's quite a bit of mutuality between the two, we call it platonic love. Okay, so platonic love founder is Plato. It is very common. So Plato emphasized the importance of education. He believed children should be taught early on to always seek wisdom and to live a virtuous life. So like what he said to his teacher, we need to have courage, justice, temperance, and piety. Okay? So that we can able to live a life or in a virtuous life. Because once you know the truth, you can live your life virtuous in a virtuous life. Okay? So now we need to talk about the student of Plato. So this is the end of Plato's story.